Alright guys, I'm going to be showing you how to edit your photography in Affinity Pro to get the background blurry. Now the first thing you do once you've opened your Affinity app and you've got your picture in there, you select this little tool here on the left hand side. It's called selection brush tool. You go ahead and you select it. You can make the selection circle bigger or smaller by using the bracket on your keyboard. If you push the left one, it goes bigger. You push the left one, yes, it goes bigger. No, the left one goes smaller and the right one makes it bigger. So that's how you can adjust this. Of course, the smaller it is, the more accurate your outline would be. You can also push Control and the plus on your keyboard to bring the picture in, to zoom it in, and minus to zoom it out. So this will be quite a demonstrative video. So what I do want to show you is from scratch. So I'm going to just select everything. Okay, so I'm going to show you how it's done. So I use my selection brush tool and I just start selecting like this. I just left click my mouse, hold it down, and outline, just go around what you want selected. If you let go of the left mouse, the left click on the mouse, it will stay like this, and you can just left click it and hold it down and continue on. Now let go again, and now click here. See how it automatically outlines the figures you want selected. It's not very difficult. Okay, do this. Alright. Every time I'm just left clicking and holding down and going over what I want outlined. Now you push on your keyboard Control, hold it in, and use your mouse to scroll in and out. Use the mouse roller to scroll in or out, or use the plus on your keyboard and the minus to zoom in and out. Now you will see here there is certain parts that are not 100% selected. You can see here it's selected nicely around her arms. However, it didn't select nice around her lower arms and her dress. Yeah, further on. This is from a wedding shoot that I did. So how do we fix that? Okay, firstly, use the brackets, the left bracket, to make your little selection tool smaller once you've zoomed in. And then you can push Control, Shift and I for invert. Now what that's going to do is invert your selection. So in other words, when I click here now, it goes inwards. It goes towards her body. If I select Control Shift I again, it will take it off invert, and the more I select outwards, the higher it will go. Whereas if I Control Shift I and invert it, I can actually bring the selection backwards, as you can see here. So you just go around everything like this. Now there is also a quicker way that you can do this, or an alternative method, and that is by clicking at the top. You click this button, Refine, and what it's going to do, and actually you don't want them to be selected in red. What you can do, let me just hit cancel here, and hit Ctrl+Shift+I to take it off invert, and click refine again, and you'll see the background now goes red. Okay, then once I've selected this, and this little page will open here, you select on your background. That's the red. So you select your background, and can make my little selection brush tool a bit bigger because I'm not zooming in too much, and I can select what I want for the background. Okay, there you'll see it. Select around there. Now I need to zoom in a bit. Remember, it's Control and scroll with your mouse, or Control and the plus on your keyboard. Alright, so I'm going to go up here, make my selection brush tool smaller again because I've zoomed in now, and I just select here. Remember, I'm not going right against his face, just go around it. And it's feathered, so it automatically goes in towards his face. I did a bit too much. If you make a mistake, to undo your last step, you just push Control, hold it down, and push Z. To redo the step, you push Control, hold it down, and Y, and it redoes it. Control, hold down, Z to undo. So whenever you make a mistake and you want to undo the last step, it's Control, hold down Control, and hit the Z button on your keyboard. Now you'll see here, this is a little bit over a hat, so you've got to select foreground now, this little patch, and just do this to take it out the red. Okay, because this is the foreground. Don't want a hat to be selected as part of the background that we're going to blur. And you just go all along the outline and you make sure everything's pretty good. Okay. Now select background again here. I want this in red. You can see it's not snug against the dress yet. There we go. Nice. Then let's go down. You see his shoes are part of the background at the moment, so we got to fix that. So we select again foreground here and just undo this. Just select his shoe for the foreground. Nice. And this one too. Bit more. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, we zoomed in, so we get much more detail now. Looks like his pants are a bit in the red, so I'll have to select this as well to fix that up. Okay. That looks about good. Her hat is still, there's some here in red. Just make sure if you're going to select the image that you don't want blurred, you select foreground. When you want pieces that you do want blurred, you select background. Right. I'm not going to bother about blurring this in between them because that'll look too fake. Now it's Control and scroll out again. Okay, that's about good. Now you make sure that your layers panel is selected here. Okay. First I've got to push apply. And now you'll see how well it's selected all around here. So once that's all selected, you make sure that your layers panel here is selected, the layers panel, and then you go here to live filters at the bottom and you select live filters. And you got different types of filters here. You got like a motion blur filter where it will make it look like it's a blur in motion. Pretty cool, but that's not what we're looking for, so I just push delete. You can also go to a twirl filter, for example, and show you what you do here. You make a twirl. You can make a twirl wherever you want to. You can put what filters. There's a bunch of different filters you can use. You can also use a Gaussian blur filter, which just basically makes the background more blurry. Of course, you can select your radius. The higher your radius, the more blurry it will become. You never want to select too much blur, because then it looks fake. Just want to blur it a little like that. But another filter you can use is the lens blur filter, which is almost like the Gaussian blur filter, pretty much similar. You always want to select preserve alpha on here to prevent fringing. Alright, but the one I'm going to use right now is the depth of field filter. So now what you do, select preserve alpha, put your radius up, and it blurs it, but it doesn't blur the middle. Neither does it obviously blur your selection. It only blurs the background. This is why we select the figure that we do not want blurred. And of course, the higher your radius, the more it's going to blur again. Vibrance is obviously the color at the back. It's almost like saturation, but it's not as prominent. If you want it more vibrant, you make sure your vibrance is up. But you never want to do it too much, because it does add a little bit of a fake effect. But I can put a bit of vibrance up here. I think that looks good. Clarity, you can also see plays with the background. Here it seems more clear. It's obviously got more noise, but I'm not going to mess with the clarity too much. Maybe just a little. Bring that a little bit up. Radius looks about good. And that's a bit too much. Right. It blurs mostly on the outer circle when you're using the depth of field filter. And then it kind of, on the second circle, it like blurs in and then it goes smooth on the inside. So it creates that depth of field look. I think that's about good. You can click and hold on these blue little dots to play with the shape that you want. But I think this is about good. It's about how I want it, maybe a bit in. Okay, that's good. And then you can also play with your blend mode. You just left click and you can actually just hover over the different things here and you'll see what they do. Lighten, lighter color, screen, color dodge, overlay, soft light, got luminosity, negation, but I'm just going to stick with the normal. overlay creates too much of a fake feel. Multiply is also good, but I'm just gonna stick to normal and then click merge, and there you have it. If you want to deselect your selections, you push Ctrl and D. Alright, you want to save the file, you can either save it as, but what it's going to do then is it's going to save it in Affinity format, and you're not going to be able to view it anywhere else. So what I do, instead of saving it, go to export, select export, select the file you want it in, and save. And then also when you are saving or when you're exporting, you can select your JPEG, high quality, medium quality, low quality, or best quality. I always select best quality. And you can choose the type of format you want, PNG, JPEG, GIF, TIFF, PSD, PDF, etc. Even HDR. But I always save in JPEG because I shoot in RAW and I save in JPEG. Okay. Go to final photos. Okay, so this is how it ends up looking after the filter blur. Pretty nifty, pretty cool. Alright, and that's how you do it. Until the next video, enjoy. Cheers.